a Manchester derby in north-west London.
This is a great one to win and not a great one to lose for the Manchester divide.
Absolutely perfect for Manchester United. Manchester City are back in business. It's Manchester United's FA Cup derby delight.
A new season begins with Manchester pride on the line. It's United against City in the 102nd FA Community Shield. Welcome to the preview show. Coming up, the FA Cup holders are getting a taste for trophies.
To be at Wembley, we know the feeling of winning there, so we wanna go there and do it again.
Or will it be another title for Pep's Sky Blue machine?
In regards to dominance and the history of the game, it's right up there. And in the way they're doing it as well, I think he's unique. I think he's transcended football a little bit.
Ahead of a third Wembley clash in 14 months, the Manchester rivalry is as strong as ever.
You don't want to see them parading trophies around the city.
There's two things out of football: City winning, United losing.
And we celebrate the half-century of Community Shield matches at the home of English football.
Well, it is City Blue against United Red.
Very good memories from that day, winning FA Cup.
Oh, and the goalkeeping trouble is a gift for Garnacho. A catastrophe for Manchester City, but absolutely perfect for Manchester United.
I think it was memorable for the club, for the fans, for us players.
It's Manchester United's FA Cup, domestic and derby delight today.
For me, it was special to win that trophy. We knew that it's a one-off game, it's a final. You have to win it. You could say that we played well, obviously, but if we didn't play well and we won, we would be happy as well. So those finals are there to, as we say in my country, not to play it. We are there to win it, and we did it. Not just talking about silver, talking about the, if I'm not mistaken, the oldest competition in football. So for me, it was really special to win it, and a trophy is always a trophy, and for this club, it's always important. It gives you also obviously an extra boost because you always want to win against your rival teams, but I would say that if it was against another opponent, we would be motivated as well and wanted to win the trophy as well. Really clear in our heads that we didn't want to have the same feeling as we had previous season.
Oh! Unbelievable from Gundogan!
I think we deserve a little bit more of that game, so we were really focused on changing the history of the facts, and I'm glad we finished that.
Mainu, United 2 goals to the good, and it's the kids doing the damage.
I think it's in the DNA of this club, bringing young players, bringing players from the academy. Every season you see players coming through. For us that we are inside, we're not surprised because we already know the qualities that they have. Sometimes it's whether you are ready to step up and when the big stage comes, you are ready to perform or not. Sometimes you have to have your teammates, good teammates around you, the context has to be good. And I think last season was a good way of them proving that when the things are not going well, they still have the qualities to go through and do the things right.
The young man, can he make himself a hero? He has done.
Obviously it's important for the club, for the fans. They love the academy players to come through and do like these kids are doing. So hopefully this season we have a few more coming and helping the team.
In December 2023, Sir Jim Ratcliffe's Ineos Sport acquired a 28% stake in Manchester United, taking control of football operations.
Straight away when they came, we felt the energy. We felt that they were coming in with everything and trying to rebuild things, trying to change a few things. So everybody feels that the energy is changing. So I think it's good. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I'm really positive about the present and the near future. So I'm really excited to come and to be a part of this new journey.
Following May's FA Cup final success, Erik ten Hag extended his stay in Manchester when he was rewarded with a new contract.
I think it's really important. I mean, he showed in the last 2 seasons that we can win. I think in the end, this club is all about winning trophies, and the truth is that we won 2 trophies in 2 seasons, so we want to make this 3rd season the same, hopefully with more trophies as well and better performance, and then fight for the competitions. Now we are a squad that has been playing together for quite a few years now, so we all know each other. Now we're getting to some new staff coming in and trying to help us. So I think this is part of the cycle of a club. You have always changes season after season, so we just have to adapt and adapt as quick as we can, because the season is right around the corner, and we have to catch up quick.
It's been a relatively busy summer at United so far, with Ten Hag signing new players in central defence and attack.
It's always special to have, like we call it here, fresh blood, new faces, new energy, and when they come with that hunger to help the team, I think it's the best match, so hopefully they will succeed.
United last contested the Community Shield in 2016, when they faced Premier League champions Leicester City. It's been a long wait to return to the showpiece.
Our aim is to put the club back where it belongs, which is playing every competition and fighting for every competition that we're in. So on Saturday will be a first step to be there again. We know the feeling of winning there, so we wanna go there and do it again. The team has been really working really hard to be prepared for this game. It gives you a good head start and a good confidence to start the Premier League well. It's always better to prepare games when you're winning. It will mean one more trophy. It will mean that we are on the right track and we have a game that we want to win with our fans in there. So it will be really special, so we're going to do everything to do it.
This weekend marks a milestone occasion in Community Shield history as the fixture celebrates 50 years at Wembley. In 1974, the FA decided the National Stadium should be the home for the season's curtain raiser between the reigning league champions and FA Cup holders.
But Ibrahim now with the championship trophy, Edmund Hughes with the FA Cup.
67,000 fans saw Cup winners Liverpool beat Leeds on penalties, and the competition as we know it was born. 4 years later, Nottingham Forest beat Ipswich 5-0, the biggest winning margin in Wembley Shield history. During the 1980s and early 90s, in the event of a draw, the Shield was shared by the competing teams, with each club keeping it for 6 months.
So they share the first real trophy of the season.
In 1992, Eric Cantona scored the first Wembley Shield hat-trick as Leeds United beat Liverpool in one of the all-time great curtain raisers.
An extraordinary way to end an extraordinary afternoon.
In 1993, penalty shootouts were reintroduced as Manchester United got the better of Arsenal on spot kicks. The Reds were peerless in the 90s, appearing in 7 Wembley Shields, winning 4 and sharing 1, ending the 80s dominance of the Merseyside clubs. In 2000, the 27th and final match to be played at the old Wembley saw Chelsea beat United 2-0.
Hasselbank's onside here. Can he finish? Yes, he can.
It was the first time the Blues had lifted the trophy at Wembley. Between 2001 and 2006, the Shield had a 5-year hiatus at Cardiff's Millennium Stadium, while Wembley was being rebuilt. And in 2007, the Shield returned to the National Stadium, a match fittingly contested between the two clubs who competed in the last Shield at the old Wembley.
Oh, and it's there, Manchester United, and it's Ryan Giggs.
Since 1996, this fixture has been won at Wembley by only 5 clubs, with Arsenal and Chelsea matching up with the Manchester teams. Only Leicester City in 2021 have been able to break that monopoly.
It's a goal for Leicester City. It's probably the Shield for Leicester City.
So this weekend we'll see the 43rd Shield to be played at Wembley, as 17-time outright winners Manchester United take on rivals and six-time victors, Manchester City. Still to come is Pep's future key in the battle for Manchester superiority.
I do think he'll make his decision at some point during the season. Maybe he just decides to stay.
You'd like to see it cause some upheaval, and I'm sure they would miss him if he left the club.
And we put memories to the test in our Community Shield quiz.
Turn me on the halfway line, so I won't forget that.
A very special team with a genius of a manager. The Manchester City winning machine.
Quality is there, but the difference is here.
In 8 years in English football, Pep Guardiola has overseen Manchester City's most successful period, winning 17 major titles. And this May, an unprecedented fourth Premier League in a row.
It's definitely, obviously, the greatest period, I would say, of Manchester City's era. But in regards to dominance and the history of the game, it's right up there. And in the way they're doing it as well, I think he's unique. I think he's transcended football a little bit. The treble has gone slightly unappreciated due to the expectation of everyone saying, well, they'll just win. They should just win every game. And I think when everyone expects you to win every game and then you do win a treble, it's kind of like, well, we knew. It's like, it's kind of unfair to just state that, even though everyone recognised them as the best team. They've had successful managers before, but not to the level as Pep. His passion, I think, his enthusiasm is visible for everyone to see. I think he's the driving force behind the success. Over the course of his tenure, I think he's realised he's developed a squad that understand the expectation. So he's probably not as intense as he was at the start. Even though you've won it doesn't change. You want to win again, and you know that feeling. So you can use that as fuel. And the best players do that. The best players want it again and don't enjoy the good times for too long because they recognise that there's something else to win.
After going head-to-head in the last two FA Cup finals, the Community Shield pits the two Manchester rivals together again.
It's a competition that you want to win. It's a trophy. It'll be competitive, which is what you want. It'll be close, again, due to the teams being rivals. So, yeah, I'm sure both teams will be eager to win this.
An all-Manchester Shield has happened twice before. Joleon Lescott remembers the last in 2011.
It was off the back of the FA Cup and we beat them in the semis. And we went into the game confident, 2-0, half-time.
It's going to be Silva, in towards De Gea, in towards the goal! Joleon Lescott with the touch!
Yeah, it's nice to spot Wembley, obviously. And yeah, nice to score against your rivals, even though we didn't win, but at the moment it was nice. And then we got slapped in the face, second half. Which I felt after, on reflection, was a blessing in disguise, because I think going into the season off the back of the pre-season we had, I think we thought, not untouchable, but we were pretty strong, and then with the realisation of, oh, we can still lose games.
Lescott's time at City saw the start of their rise to the top of the English game, triggered by that 2011 FA Cup victory.
It was the first kind of broke that duck of not winning. It's like since retiring, so many fans have said that was the first trophy they'd seen the club win. But to recognise the FA Cup as the first that started what we're seeing now, and to be a part of that was special. But you would say since pretty much that season, the following season, and that trophy, they've gone on to be the team to beat.
As Guardiola enters the final year of his current contract, the Community Shield is the first trophy he'll be expected to win.
We probably will be favourites in all competitions. The standards that Man City have set have been so high, and the consistencies that they've had under Pep is remarkable. Yeah, if you're looking at it, and he's not got a contract, so you'd probably have to say he's going to leave. It'll be down to him whether he wants to stay, but if he doesn't, then he's left the club in a great position. I think we should just enjoy him whilst he's here. Hopefully he stays, but I also believe as long as he stays, Man City will be the team to beat.
There's two things I love in football: City winning, United losing. It's as simple as that.
Fans of Manchester City have grown accustomed to celebrating regular victories over their neighbours. But back in May, the United supporters relished some revenge.
Manchester United with Bruno Fernandes. Mainu! United 2 goals to the good.
I love the FA Cup. I grew up in the 90s where it was the biggest thing about, and you watched all the bosses going in and all the FA Cup final songs and that. So winning the FA Cup was important, and beating City makes it a bit more special as well.
It's Manchester United's FA Cup. Domestic and derby delight today.
I still want revenge, mate. Absolutely. Like, this is a City, divided by two teams, and I absolutely want to make them suffer again. It's such a good start to the season to win the Community Shield. Given everything, I do want City to turn up and sort of make a bit of a statement.
There's a bit of silverware at stake, and it's Wembley, and it'll be a packed house, and it's Man City, so of course you want to win it.
The rivalry in Manchester dates back to the 1880s, with United dominant for much of the time since. But the 2008 buyout of City transformed the club.
I grew up with the underdog, because I'm 38, so I knew when we were naff, and I hated them with a passion. I can't deny it.
Look, I think a big part of Man United fans will always resent the fact that they're successful. Of course, the City rivals and stuff.
I did enjoy it when we knocked them off the perch, and I still enjoy it to this day, and I will never not take great satisfaction watching them finish mid-table.
You don't want to see them parading trophies around the city and all those kind of things. It's not what you want to see.
The only thing is, they've been pretty irrelevant for the past several years. It would be nice to challenge them again, but at the same time, I would enjoy it more if they just suffer and be terrible, because that is what football fandom's about,
City have set the standard, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe's Ineos Group know the significance of making United #1 in Manchester again.
It does feel like there's a wind change. That co-ownership coming in, those people coming in. On the tour you saw Ashworth, Barada, Wilcox, all these guys at the training ground, overseeing things, in discussions with the manager, and it feels like it's a little bit more of a collaborative effort.
They're basically just copying City. I don't think they're even hiding that. It is just copy City and crack on. And I get it, because City's structure is brilliant, but it looks like they are doing some reasonably sensible things.
I don't think the new co-owners will be, you have to win the league this year or anything like that. I think it'll be a slow, gradual improvement. And it'd be good to see the fan base kind of get behind this team. I think they'll be looking for that.
I'm just hoping, that United carry on getting it wrong. They'll probably fix it eventually, but right now, I think there's still an awful lot of questions.
The mastermind behind City's dominance is Pep Guardiola, but he's closer to the end of his reign than the start, and into the final year of his current contract.
I do think he'll make his decision at some point during the season, and if the players react to him well and he's enjoying his coaching, maybe he just decides to stay. I'm hoping he does minimum 10 years. It's a nice round number, so fingers crossed he'll sign a 2-year extension or something like that.
I think Pep Guardiola is I don't think he's the greatest, but I think he's one of the greatest managers and coaches to have done it. So taking him out and that vacuum that will leave, where will they go next? Will they have a manager that comes in and can't live up to those expectations? You'd like to see it cause some upheaval, and I'm sure they would miss him if he left the club.
I really do think Pep's a genius. I think his vision of the game, his charisma, his work rate, it's second to none, absolutely. I think he's the perfect manager. You could design him in a lab and come out like Guardiola, and Pep is the difference. I really think he is. The money obviously helps, but give Pep the same amount of money at any of the clubs and he'd win it with them instead of City. Because Pep is a serial winner. He wants to win everything all the time. With a trophy on the line, I want to win, and I expect a reaction.
The summer transfer market is always busy for Premier League clubs. We've already seen plenty of deals done, and the Community Shield offers the perfect platform for new arrivals to make a first winning impression. Manchester City have signed Brazilian international Savinho from City Football Group Club Troyes in France. United's new owners have been active in the market too, signing teenage centre-back Lenny Yoro from Lille. And last year's Serie A Young Player of the Season, Joshua Zirkzee. He'll be coming face-to-face with his ex-Bologna teammate Riccardo Calafiori this season when United play Arsenal. Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall has joined Chelsea and reunites with former Leicester head coach Enzo Maresca, who's taken over from Maurizio Pochettino at Stamford Bridge. But the Blues have seen a few faces leave. Conor Gallagher departs for Atletico Madrid, having been at the club since he was 8 years old. Another ex-academy player, Omari Hutchinson, joins one of the Premier League's promoted sides, Ipswich, where he was on loan last season. Aston Villa have bolstered their ranks after signing midfielder Amadou Onana from Everton, whilst the Toffees have signed Iliman Ndiaye from Marseille. The attacking midfielder was at Sheffield United.
A brilliant feat. Oh, it's a quite wonderful goal from Iliman Ndiaye.
West Ham have improved their attack under new boss Julian Lopetegui, signing German striker Niklas Füllkrug. And Leeds United's Championship player of last season, Crescencio Somerville.
Somerville, brilliant individual goal.
Crystal Palace have sold Michael Olise to Bayern Munich, but they've not stood still finding replacements. Daichi Kamada reunites with manager Oliver Glasner. They won the Europa League together at Frankfurt. And Ismail Assar returns to the Premier League after a season in France. The former Watford man looking to add to his 34 goals in English football. Tottenham have signed the Championship's Young Player of the Year, Archie Gray from Leeds. And Emil Smith-Rowe has left the red side of North London to join Fulham as their club record signing.
It's Emil Smith-Rowe for Arsenal.
Finally, this week it's quiz time. We show our guests a team sheet from a past classic match with a few notable omissions. The match in question is the last all-Manchester Community Shield back in 2011.
But I can't remember that one, you know.
I can't remember. They won 3-2, didn't they, I think? Yeah.
That was a great game, that.
So we'll start with City. Who are the three missing men?
So we're going to go
In goal was
Joe Hart.
I imagine Joe Hart's in goal.
Joe Hart.
A solid start. In goal, Joe Hart. But who was the midfielder?
Yeah.
Bad at flags. That's
Ivory Coast, so Yaya Toure.
Yaya Toure.
got Yaya Toure, right?
Correct. Missing in the middle, Yaya Toure. So, who was up front?
Is that Balotelli out of position?
You got Balotelli there.
And Mario Balotelli.
So there we go, Mario.
Character, definitely. And a top talent as well.
Easy for Jolien. Up front, Italy's Mario Balotelli. So no problems with the City lineup. But what about the three missing men in the United team?
De Gea.
So it's De Gea.
David De Gea, obviously, in goal.
Great start, making his United debut, David De Gea. But who was wide on the United right?
This midfield, I already know who the midfielder is.
Is it Nani out wide as a Portuguese winger?
That midfield was special, by the way. It's Nani, Carrick, Anderson, Young.
Nani scored.
He actually scored twice, Jolien. United's match winner, Nani, is the second one. One more to get.
Another English striker, but then really. Michael Owen, I guess, up front.
English striker.
Why is it's one of those things where you're going to say it, I'm going to just slap myself in the face.
And Danny Welbeck.
Danny Welbeck.
Oh, Welbeck, yeah, there we go.
Turned me on the halfway line, so I won't forget that.
Sorry, Jolien. A handful on the day up front for United was Danny Welbeck. So this week's winners with an impressive 5 out of 5 are Jolien Lescott and Adam McCullough. Unlucky, Stephen.
Welbeck, man. I don't really care.